It's the time for the package from China. Let's go. Of course, the question, what comes inside the package? Not much, if you ask me. It comes with a really short micro USB cable, but there is a reason why it's short. Alright, the hardware itself, the first thing that I'm really surprised, it feels very heavy. It feels like a quality product. And let's take a close look at the connector. It comes with an FX connector, or you can play your FX games. USB connector at the top. At the back we're finding micro USB and an USB connection. And how do you connect it? That's a really funny part if you ask me. It's more like back in the day, Sega 32X, and people who know this piece of hardware now know how to connect it. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to connect it, and let's try it out. What do you need to do? It's very simple. If we turn back the SNES Mini, we've got the micro USB and the HDMI for screen and sound out. You hook this up into the little micro USB port here. Hook it into the USB port here. And here we put the power for just powering on everything. And it's just, let's say it's connected through each other. And here is the part where it's getting really interesting. So what is so interesting about this product? This is the funny part. You don't need to use a soft mod on your SNES Mini. You can use the original SNES Mini because this piece of hardware is your soft mod. And when you're using this C2M, it's going to rewrite the original software of your SNES Mini. So you can then use your Super NES cards because there is going to be a little icon in your screen and the USB port. So it's just easy to add on or just simply swap out games. So it's not a piece of plastic with a PCB board inside. No, it's actually a pretty ingenious piece of hardware. So let's power it on and let's try to install it because I'm really curious how it's going to work. Alright people, before we are going to power on the system, we need some files for the USB. If you have formatted your USB stick, we are going to need some files. And we can find them on the original website from C2M at classic2magic.com. Alright, we click on Documents and Downloads. And we're going straight away to the files. If you are reading the README file, they're saying you need to use the first time setup files. Didn't work for me. I downloaded all three of the files. If you want, just download them. I just used it to download C2M USB files version 1.2. And when it's done, I unzipped it to my USB stick, and that's it. Alright, this is very important that you have a program that you can unzip the file. So you can download WinZip or just use WinRAR, but you are seeing here, depending a little bit what kind of system, if you're using 32 or 64 bits, depending on that. But I can leave a link in the description if you want, and there you can find WinRAR. And if you already have it, very nice. Simple, right click on the file. I have some options here. I can say here says in Dutch, hier uitpakken, or extract the file here. Now you need to use these two folders. Right click on it again. You select them by holding the left button, select them, lose the left, click on the right button, and again use the left button to cut them. Yeah, sorry, everything is Dutch. It seems to be my Dutch Windows PC. Right click, left click on paste or plakken in Dutch, and yeah, it's loading up the files. When it's done, we have two folders. I will show you where to put in your file or your ROM file. In this case, I have a file of F0. And when the files are done, you are able to add the ROM file. Let's cut and paste it on the C2M map, ROMs, paste it here again, and that's it. The file is in place. He is loading up the new settings. Alright, this is going to take some time. So right, I have rebooted the system and put in an original video game. I've added the F-Zero file to the ROM folder, and this is what we are going to get in the main menu. The first thing what we're seeing is the cartridge, so it's loading up the original game. Here we can just pick a random game. Here we can find the original games. And here we have the files that we are adding. So let's choose this one. And what you can see here, it's finding the F folder. It's automatically making this F folder. Didn't do anything, just drop the file into the ROM folder. And here it is, F-Zero. Alright, let's do some testing. So far I know it's running on RetroArch. And what you can see here is that it's running quite well. Alright, it's been a long time. Alright people, let's check out what's more on this system, what kind of options do we have, and yeah. And how do you get back to the main menu? Very simple, press start and select. And here we can close the content. Go to RetroArch. And it's loading up back to the classic menu. Alright, let's go to the main menu again. Alright, go back. Let's do a little bit of checking of the settings, because this is very important. Here we have some extra options, some controller options, really awesome. So, shall we try out the original game? And this is the original game. Let's see what happens. The screen is staying black. And it's booting the original game. Alrighty then. Alright people, I have seen enough, I have installed, I have checked out the ROM file part and the original game folder or the original game card playing. And, it seems to be just running fine. And let's go to the final conclusion. What are my final thoughts about this thing? Alright people, for the final conclusion about the C2M. I personally really love it, and yeah, let's talk about a little bit the cartridge. First of all, it's region free, so it doesn't matter what kind of game you use. In USA, Japanese or PAL, it doesn't matter. Multicards are not supported, and yeah, it's the same as loading up a ROM, because it's loading the original file from the cartridge into the system, and so you can play original games. But still, it's really cool to play your games, original games, on the SNES Mini. But what I really love about this hardware is that you can just add new files through the USB stick, because we've got the problem that we have some limitation to the internal storage of the SNES Mini Classic. I recommend just buy the little nano stick, because it needs to be always in, because you need to boot up the files. I have noticed that the reset button wasn't working while powering on, so if you want to swap cartridges, you need to power off the system and power it on. So there's a little bit of a problem. So you need to disconnect it from this side, so everything is powered off. So every time you need to power it on, you need to be sure that the SNES Mini is off and you power off the piece of hardware itself first, because that's very important. So yeah, overall, I really love it. Is it worth the money? Yes, because yeah, you have unlimited storage now. You can put in every USB stick you want, and that is really nice. And now you can just use more games on your SNES Mini. Yeah, loading it up is easy. Add the files to the USB stick, stick it in, connect it, power it on, and that's it. So let me know what do you think of it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell because you get notified for upcoming new Wicked reviews, previews, and Let's Plays. Thanks for watching, people, and see you.